Linebackers. They kept Demetrius Flanagan-Foles, who is one of my favorite players because he says his name is Flanagan-Foles. I love saying Flanagan-Foles, but here's what you need to know about him. They signed him last year. He's a linebacker who weighs 210 pounds. It's really interesting. The Niners know exactly what they're looking for in linebackers. He's going to be Quan Alexander's backup, a weak side linebacker purely. And the way they look at it is, in their scheme, he's protected behind a defensive tackle, so he doesn't need to be big enough to take on offensive linemen. Plus, the only team really in the league that uses a fullback consistently is the Niners. So they don't have to worry about lead runs and fullbacks, 250-pound lead blockers. You just need to be about the same size as the running backs you're meeting in the hole. And there are very few running backs who are bigger than 210 pounds anymore. So that's the new prototype for the weak side linebacker, a safety. He's Jaquiski Tart size. Not to say he'll ever actually be a starting weak side linebacker for the Niners, but that's what they're looking for. A strong safety. And it makes sense because in cover 3, like if you think the classic cover 2 when I was a kid that everyone used was 5 deep, underneath zone defenders, 2 deep. So three linebackers, 2 corners underneath, and 2 safeties deep. That's a lot of guys underneath. They don't have those linebackers don't have to move very much. The zones they're covering are pretty condensed because there's 5 of them. 3 linebackers, 2 corners. Well, in cover 4, you got 3 deep, 4 underneath. So there's more space between the underneath guys. Those are very quick passes. They need to be very fast players side to side. And Flanagan-Foles is, Greenlaw is, Warner is, Quan Alexander is. That's what it is. It's not about toughness between the tackles, although in a wide 9 it's important. But it's in coverage, it's all about covering ground side to side. If you remember the first year Saleh came, his inside linebacker was Navarro Bowman, who was coming off like an Achilles tear and a torn ACL, and he just was not fast anymore. Every time someone checked down on the Niners, they gain 11 yards. All you had to do was throw the ball to your running back, 11-yard gain. Remember when the Niners almost beat the Rams in 2017 with Bryant Hoyer? It was a really, really high-scoring game. Todd Gurley, I think, scored 4 touchdowns in that game. And it was just check down after check down because Navarro Bowman just couldn't move anymore. So they need super fast guys. That's what they're looking for. That's what Flanagan-Foles is. Also, Azeez Al-Shaair, he's interesting. That's the backup middle linebacker. They're teaching him all the calls and stuff. So if theoretically Fred Warner can't play week 1 because he's still on the COVID list, I don't know. I think Azeez Al-Shaair would be the middle linebacker. So that's interesting. He was an undrafted free agent last year. Another guy who could become a legit contributor to this team as a second-year player. I like those stories.